As short as Cameron's second run on The Young and the Restless may have been, nobody can deny that he made one heck of an impact on the canvas. And for Sharon, it's one that could have long-lasting repercussions. Now though, Cameron's well and truly dead and Lyndon Ashby has once again left the Sudzer, for now? There's always a question mark when it comes to these types of things, but when Ashby spoke a bit about the experience when he was on Soap Opera Digest's podcast, he admitted that return was so incredible. The door hasn't entirely shut on a third round someday. I'm kind of sad it's over, the actor noted, but you never know. Who knows? Executive producer and head writer Josh Griffith wrote me a really nice note when I finished, and I wrote him a really nice note back. Well, that certainly sounds like there's always the chance Cameron could pop up again. He wouldn't be the first Geno City denizen to cheat death, and with Ashby and Griffith both having had such a great time bringing him back, there's always room for an encore. Ashby, though, has been a part of the soap world for decades, ever since he scored his first role on Loving Back in 1985 playing Curtis Alden. But the ride back then wasn't nearly as smooth, the actor admitted to Digest. And while he had nothing but amazing things to say about his co-stars from John O'Hurley to Nell Beck, he didn't mince words about why he left. I got fired. It was a great place to be, he clarified. And I loved Wesley Addy, and I loved Jane Powell and Augusta Dabney and Celeste Holm, and these older actors that we were just so lucky to have them there. It was where you started, and there were people who stayed and had these amazing careers, and there were people who left. But there was also a pretty horrific aspect to the show, and Ashby didn't hold back on getting into the problems he had with the show's first executive producer, the late Joseph Stewart. The two butted heads so much that when Luke Perry joined the show the year after Ashby's firing, I was a cautionary tale that Joe Stewart told to Luke when Luke was acting up. He was like, there was this other actor, and he was very talented, but he had a very bad attitude. That's something that Ashby didn't challenge. I did have a bad attitude, he admitted, but this guy was not a nice guy. Joe Stewart did a lot of damage to a lot of people. God rest his soul, right? Actor and producer clashed, and when Ashby and Susan Walters, Diane, married in 1986, Stewart wasn't happy with them. At the time, they were playing cousins Curtis and Lorna on the show, cleaning up beaches and creating art one butt at a time. He was abusive, Ashby said simply. He had bad issues. He had problems. Not a fun place to work with him, and I'd just push his buttons, like, come on, throw a punch. He didn't respond well, and he didn't respond well when I married Susan. Anyway, Joe Stewart was not a good guy. Clearly though, Ashby's career didn't suffer after his firing, as it didn't take long for him to find success in daytime, primetime and film. Plus, it gave us two amazing runs as Young and Restless Cameron, so far. Unlike his first daytime go-around, the actor wasn't fired, so fingers crossed there's still room for one more terrifying encore. Sharing a video from overseas in which Young and Restless co-star Jason Thompson, Billy, makes a literal splash, Amelia Heinle Victoria said thanks so much to all the fans and TF1 and the Monte Carlo Television Festival for allowing me to swim in the Mediterranean again. Because yes, I got in eventually, she added. Although the water was so chilly, just looking at it almost gave us goosebumps. When an admirer expressed his gratitude to the Emmy winner for making the trip, saying that he hoped to be able to take a picture the next time around, Heinle apologized profusely for the fact that there hadn't been a photo op. I'm so sorry. I felt so bad, she said. They told us we couldn't, and I felt horrible. I wanted to come back. It made me feel like crap. It may be for the best that the actress is working on her mea culpas, because the way things are going on screen, she may soon have some to issue a few of them as Victoria too. The exec just forced brother Nick to take a leave of absence so that she could install loverboy Nate in his position. And while that might serve her purposes in the short run, she could end up mighty sorry in the long run. She could even end up on the unemployment line. Here's the surprising reason why. In a Young and Restless preview for the week of June 26 to 30, is this the end for Skyle? Read what happens and watch the preview below. In spite of everyone under the sun warning Jack about getting involved with Diane, both he and Kyle gave her another chance and accepted her back into their lives. Kyle's forged a strong relationship with his mother, while Jack has fallen in love with her again and proposed to her. Not only that, but Jack decided to give Diane a major promotion at the family business, Jabot. So imagine Jack's shock when he confronts Diane about lying to their son again. After Kyle caught Summer lying to him about how long she knew her mother was alive, and that she was helping Phyllis hide from the authorities and prove her innocence, Kyle wasn't sure he'd ever be able to forgive his wife. Things are about to get a whole lot worse for the couple as next week, Summer confides in her father Nick that Kyle not only wants a separation, he asked her to move out. Nate and Audra continued their rise to the top, with Victoria's help. After the ordeal with Cameron Kirsten and Sally losing her baby, Victoria decided Nick could use some time off from work, and promptly replaced him at Newman with Nate. Nate made it clear he'd need Audra to step up, and apparently she's taking a play out of his book and sets her sights on Kyle. Coming up, Audra tells Kyle her achievements are not confined to the boardroom. I've got a few moves. Sweeting his drink, Kyle grins. I'll bet you do. How about you show me some? Keep an eye out for new young and restless spoilers to learn who Kyle turns to for help, and what haunts Sharon.